Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. It seems that high-end automobiles and luxury watches just go together. You've had Girard-Perregaux for Ferrari, Panerai for Ferrari, Hublot for Ferrari, Blancpain, Lamborghini Trofeo Series, Jaeger-LeCoultre Amvox, Chopard and Porsche. The list goes on and on and on. And that's before we even mention all the watches named after Formula One drivers. So, when you see an auto-related luxury watch like this Audemars Piguet Gstaad Classic Jules Audemars Chronograph, you really have to appreciate just how subtle the auto associations are. Now, the Gstaad Classic is an annual rally that's held by the car club of the Bernese town of Gstaad in Switzerland, and it sets itself apart because it's not a race. There's an average speed, legal, that the participants have to maintain and try to arrive as close as possible to the appropriate time at each checkpoint on the rally. So precision is the goal, and that fits perfectly with Audemars Piguet's mission of delivering the finest luxury watches. This is a precise timekeeper that renders a subtle tribute to the rally that Audemars Piguet, as a corporate sponsor, has patronized for 3 years running. Now, what sets this watch apart is that it is a delicate tribute with subtle reminders of its automotive associations. Now, the dial itself is partially silvered, partially tobacco, with contrasting subdials and just a splash of color in the chronograph seconds hand. What this achieves, and also the constant seconds hand, but only the tip, what this achieves is to recall a vintage automotive speedometer or tachometer without being overt. Very delicate, very subtle. You also have the rose gold tones of the numerals and the hands, Breguet-style hands, and Arabic rose gold numerals, a little bit of gold on the chapter rings of the subdials. Very subtle, very beautiful. Just outboard of this little railroad or sector style minute track, outboard of the numerals, you find the tachometer, silvered, just like the outer race of a vintage automotive instrument. Very attractive, reflective, catches the light in that distinctive rotating propeller effect that you get when beautifully grained metal rotates through the ambient light. Hugely attractive. It helps the watch to actually play a little bit bigger than its nominal size, and this watch in particular has a lot of presence. Despite a very wearable 41mm case, it reads as much more dramatic, and that's because the alternately polished and satin finished titanium is just a striking combination in conjunction with tobacco on the dial, on the strap, and gold in details on the start-stop pusher, the hands, the numerals, the chapter rings. With a contrasting stitch on this calfskin brown leather strap, you can see it's hand-stitched, very tight pattern, just enough variation to remind you that an artisan did this with blood, sweat, and tears, and not a machine. Now, it is a chronograph based on an Audemars Piguet in-house movement. This is the 3124, built, engineered, finished by Audemars Piguet to their standard. Now you can see the family crests on the 22-carat winding rotor of the Audemars and Piguet family. That's because Audemars Piguet is still run and owned by its founding families, and it's the only major watchmaker in Switzerland that can boast this. Now, further tributes paid on the caseback to the Gstaad Classic, and this is the only place where you see overt co-branding. Now, the Gstaad Classic is a celebrated annual event, so it's worthy of a mention, but for those who have no particular interest in automobiles or vintage rallies, read it from the front. And this 2011 special edition, the watch is one of 250, comes across as nothing more than a unique, tastefully finished, artfully designed, luxury Swiss timepiece. The chronograph itself is modular based on the Audemars manufacture movement, starts and stops, very crisp. This is a premium timepiece in look and feel. And the finishing, I wish I had something better than an iPhone to show you, but this is really what sets Audemars Piguet apart. This is why they're part of the Holy Trinity with Patek and Vacheron. Cote de Genève on all the bridges, a full dual-anchored escapement balance wheel bridge. Now you can see the escapement right there, and the balance wheel centered right on that bridge. That's more shock resistant, allows for better timekeeping. It's a more modern design than the single-sided balance staff you sometimes see. The rotor moves on ceramic bearings, very low friction, never needs maintenance or lubrication, highly efficient winding system. Below the balance wheel you can actually see a very tight pattern of overlapping perlage. All of the edges are beveled, all of the screw sinks are polished, all of the jewel sinks are polished. You see, well, I can see, I wish you could see, but every screw slot is actually chamfered, and the screw heads themselves beautifully polished to a mirror shine, almost black polished as they call it. This is about as good as it gets in the world of luxury watchmaking, and this Jules Audemars Gstaad Classic Chronograph from Audemars Piguet is available from watchyouwant.com with a full set of boxes, papers, and original documentation. Again, a 2011 special edition. This is one of only 250 made, so exclusivity is assured. But while some exclusive watches are exclusive only by virtue of the serial number on the back, this is truly a unique aesthetic treatment. There is no other Audemars that looks like this. This is a classic, this is a highly sought model, a highly rare model. They only come by once in a while. This one is in outstanding condition, clearly different, distinctive, delicate, but at the same time masculine, like a vintage automobile, like a high-performance car from the 30s through 70s period that the Gstaad Classic honors. So log on to our website, watchyouwant.com, and check out this Jules Audemars Gstaad Classic Chronograph and our other pre-owned luxury watches. You just may find the watch you want.